Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to Crunch Sports. IPL is back, and I'm being joined with by Santosh. Hi, Santosh. How are you doing? IPL is back. New season, new teams. How are you
I
feeling?
mean, feels good. IPL is back, but then the thing is, there are too many changes this time. Right as the commentary box, instead of playing for CSK, Dhoni's not the captain anymore. Kohli's not the captain anymore. So two new teams, a lot of things happening. So yeah, a bit hard to digest, I would say, but not hard to digest, but hard to adjust to this so soon. But then it's great that IPL is back, and we have finally have some fun to look forward to in our lives.
And new format as well this time. It's the
Yeah,
round
two groups.
robin, two new teams. It's groups and all that jazz. So, well, you spoke about new captaincy. We'll start off with that. And guys, drop a like on the video and share it. We'll be live till the match starts. We'll be here throughout the toss. So make sure you can join us in that and let your comments down. And yeah, Santosh, about the captaincy, MS Dhoni. I mean, Virat Kohli dropped the bombshell like 6, 7 months ago, and now MSD does the same just 2 days before the massive tournament starts. So what is your thoughts on first Ravindra Jadeja? No, let's start off with the main man himself, MS Dhoni, the legacy, the end of an era, one of the best, if not the greatest captain the world has ever seen, and definitely one of the best IPL captains. So his role this season, and what are your thoughts on Jadeja as the captain?
Yeah, first of all, as you said, it's an end of an era. Dhoni is CSK's captain and always will be. On paper, I mean Jadeja, but for me and for all CSK fans, I'm pretty sure they can relate that Dhoni will be the captain. And for you guys, it was easier, bro. It will be easier, I guess, because Kohli told off like 7, 8 months ago, and you guys are prepared for that. But then Dhoni comes randomly, not even an official release. He just says, "I'm going to drop from captaincy." I'm like, what's going on? So yeah, it's kind of hard, but as you said, but it's Jadeja, so he has been there for a long time. It's not like someone from a new franchise coming and taking over captaincy. So it is not that bad, but Dhoni not being captain, especially will miss him. Give him the press conferences and the post match presentation and stuff like that, because it's just interesting to know how he approaches the game. Every time he talks about how this part in the game changed the context of the game, it's just very interesting, and to know how the greatest cricketing bay, in my opinion at least, approaches the game is something valuable for a cricket fan. So in that aspect, I guess it's a big bummer, and just the sheer confidence he has in his team, because in 2020 when we ended second last in the table. He said we'll come back stronger, and we came back stronger than ever. I guess we won that trophy last year. So such a captain is a rarity. So yeah, and his role this year, I think it'll be being a mentor. Because even last year we saw he didn't really bat. He hardly came to bat, unless it's like absolutely required because there are 6 wickets down. Then he comes in. But that one innings against DC was good enough for the whole season. I'm not gonna say anything about that. But yeah, he'll be the mentor for Jadeja. He'll guide him through, on how he should captain and coach the team as well. So yeah, I think this is the signals that he's going to be his last year. I hope it's not, but let's wait and watch.
Well, I mean, yeah, like you said, it'll be awkward. It'll be weird to see, even now, the toss is in 10 minutes. It'll be weird to see someone else come in a yellow jersey
Yeah,
and it's not MSD. And the
yeah,
worst thing, I wouldn't say it's the worst thing because Dhoni will be playing. But yeah, it's going to be weird seeing it. But it just shows that it's an end of an era and what a
yeah,
legacy has left behind. But your thoughts on the new captain? I mean, I think it was a pretty obvious choice. Jadeja,
yeah.
arguably the best all-rounder in the world. Even in current form, he's been killing it. Even in the last series, absolutely
Against Sri
smashing it
Lanka.
around with the bat. We all know about his fielding, and then a new role, captaincy. I mean, yeah, of course, Dhoni will be there to guide him. But what do you think about Jadeja as the captain? Do you think he can continue that legacy? It's big shoes to fill. I
Yeah.
mean, of course, nobody expects Jadeja to be the next MS Dhoni, but what will be his impact at CSK?
I mean, of course, as I said, it's big shoes to fill, because Dhoni, the legacy is left. We don't have to talk about, because everyone knows about it already. But yeah, Jadeja taking over the captaincy, it's just that he can do everything single-handedly now. He can bowl, he can bat, he can field very well, and he can captain too. So yeah, I expect him to do well because he's been under Dhoni for such a long time, and he knows how Dhoni goes about his business. So I don't think there'll be a big transition, like an overall change of the team environment, and the nature of the game that CSK will play. It'll be the same, but it's just that it'll be a different person managing all the stuff at this time around. And I think Dhoni will stick with CSK after he retires too. He might be a mentor or some of head coach of a sort. So I think Jadeja will have someone to guide him throughout, and he is a good cricketing brain too. He is pretty smart on his own. So I think and he's calm. That's more important. So I think that helps CSK go forward a lot.
Right. I think, like I said, it was a pretty obvious choice, Jadeja as the captain. But now, new captain, every captain has their own philosophy. I mean, we saw that
Yeah.
with Virat for the Indian team. He was under the guidance of MS Dhoni, but they're two complete different captains. And it'll be interesting to see how Jadeja goes about his business this year. And talking about captaincy, new captain for KKR as well, Shreyas Iyer. Last season, Owen Morgan was the captain. Fantastic captaincy. Got them till the finals. Unfortunately, they lost the finals against CSK. But I mean, it's the IPL. Yeah, you can be an amazing captain, but at the end of the day, you need to score runs. And Morgan didn't do that, so they had to get rid of him. DK moved on from KKR. He is now at RCB. They went big for Shreyas Iyer and made him the captain. So both the Iyers are at KKR now. Shreyas Iyer, tremendous form the last 5 6 months, red ball and white ball. What do you think about his tenure and what his legacy will be at KKR?
Yeah, I think it's a big buy. It's a big boost for KKR that someone like a Shreyas Iyer has come in because this secures their at least the next 4 years, if not more than that, in terms of a captain at least. Because when DK was there, he had to go midway. Ian Morgan came and he couldn't really score runs. It was a bit of a sticky situation for KKR. They made it to the finals, yes, but he's not the 100% captain for the next season. But Shreyas Iyer will be, irrespective of the result this season. So I think he's there, and I think he is there to lead this team to a good stage. Because, but the one thing I'm concerned about is when he was at DC, he had a Pant, he had a Shikhar Dhawan, he had a Prithvi Shaw who could take care of the batting if he fails. But here I feel like apart from Venkatesh Iyer, him and Andre Russell, who's not very consistent, he has to do a big part of the batting also, and that might end up taking a toll on his captaincy, is what I think. But for some people, especially people like Kohli, it boosts them even more. They take up the challenge and rise to the top. So if that happens to Iyer, it'll be damn fun to watch, and I think he will rise to the top. At least he has a character. And what do you think about Shreyas Iyer?
I mean, when KKR bought him, and even prior to the auctions, it was pretty obvious that one of RCB or KKR will look for a new captain in Shreyas Iyer. He ended
Yeah.
up at KKR, and this team, it's a pretty young team. Like
Hmm.
you said, it. I mean, if KKR needs to do wonders this season, if they need to get to the playoffs and possibly to the final, I think a lot will depend on Shreyas Iyer, the batsman, more than
Yeah.
Shreyas Iyer, the captain. If he can continue the form he has shown in the last few months, then KKR will be one hell of a side to look at. But quickly, we've got 5 minutes before the toss. Now we'll talk about our predicted 11s respectively. We'll start off with KKR as well. Here is the 11 we decided on. Venkatesh Iyer. We've gone with Ajinkya Rahane, which might quite be a surprise for a few of you. Um but then again, the IPL this time it's in Mumbai, so Rahane is a homeboy. He has a good record at the Wankhede, so it
Yeah.
might be interesting to see if they go with him. Alex Hales pulled out, so they got in Aaron Finch. I think that's quite a bummer about Alex Hales because
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we can all understand bubble fatigue and all that, but he got picked up for the base price. I think that's one of the reason why he was like pulled out, because if there was bubble fatigue and all that, I mean, you need to do that before the auctions.
Options.
Why
Yeah.
put your name? Because it's a blow for the team. the team might have decided Alex Hales is the X factor. And now they've got to replace him with Aaron Finch, who has been one of the biggest flops the IPL has ever seen. Like, I'm not even being
I mean,
heavily
that's
critical here.
true.
He's played for
He's played
almost
for 9 teams, right?
has
And
played for
yeah,
almost all franchisee. That just proves that none of the franchisee want to retain him. He just comes here. I mean, he chews his chewing gum and bats for 5 6 balls and goes. Right. KKR will be hoping that he can deliver, but I'm not too sure if he'll fit in at least in the initial games. So Iyer and Rahane, Shreyas Iyer again, I think should walk in at number 3. That says we've seen in the past they float with Rahul Tripathi and Nitish Rana, but
yeah.
I think the form Iyer is in and he's the captain should be walking at a 3. Then Nitish Rana, the left-hand batsman, 4. Sam Billings, the KKR I think have got a little bit of a problem with their wicket-keeping issue, which we will talk about after the toss. Sam Billings, Andre Russell, of course they retained him. Sunil Narayan. Uh, Karuna Ratne has to be another pick because Cummins and Saudi they all come pretty late, so that is kind of a big blow for KKR not having Cummins. He's busy with the Australian side. Shivam Mavi, Varun Chakravarti, and then Umesh Yadav. So quickly, your thoughts on this KKR 11?
Yes, as you said, this is a more settled lineup than having Finch in the mix because it's direct replacement for Shamika Karunaratne and for Pat Cummins when he comes back. If Finch comes in, then there's more confusion. So, and I would bank Ajike Rahane over Finch anytime. So I think this is a more settled lineup, and but Iyer at 3 gives the more stability, especially for Andre Russell to go out there and swing it because a player like Iyer is also there with you. So looks a good squad to me. The bowling's a bit weak, but when Cummins and Saudi come back, I think they'll be fine too.
All right, moving on to the CSK 11. We've got Ruturaj Gaikwad, of course. There's no Faf du Plessis, but they've got a really good player in Devon Conway who can be the next Mike Hussey. Yes, IPL is a different
Don't
ball
jinx
game
it, bro.
altogether.
Don't
It's
jinx
a
it.
different ball game altogether, but I think he's a fantastic pick. Robbie at 3, Raidu, and then Shivam Dubey, who might get more opportunity now, especially playing at his home ground. This is where Shivam Dubey got his name at the Wankhede and the DY Patil, especially, where he became the big player and got a big contract in the IPL. Then Captain Ravindra Jadeja still feels a little awkward to say that.
It does.
Then MS Dhoni, Dwayne Bravo. We've gone with Chris Jordan, Adam Milne, and Hangar Gekar. Maybe Tushar Pandey, but we'll find out about that. Quick word in this 11.
Yes, absolutely. I said I wouldn't say a like for like replacement for Duplessis, but somewhere there, somewhere around there. Hopefully, the next Mike Hussey, and no more than that means it has to be Raidu and Uthappa both playing in the 11. I think Shivam Dubey will play all the games, all 14 games if he's fit and available, because Dhoni likes players who are players like Shivam Dubey who can bat a bit, who can bowl a bit. I mean, we can doubt his potential, but I think Dhoni will continue to back him. And then Chris Jordan. And then, so this lineup shows that CSK can bat in number 10. So Hungary can bat as well. So we saw in the Under-19 World Cup. So it's a good rounded squad, a typical CSK kind of squad. I think Jadeja can handle the team well under Dhoni's guidance and hopefully will win today.
Well, yeah, my thoughts are basically, I mean, Gaikwad, we all saw what he did
Yeah.
last season, and we all hope he can continue that because if he does, then I think he can become a really good Indian player. And Jadeja and Shreyas Iyer have walked out for the toss. Uh, no MS
Awkward
Dhoni.
already, bro.
Yes, so let's wait. And Devon Conway as an opener or Robin Uthappa as an opener, what would you do? I mean, Conway, what do you think?
No, in my opinion, I think the next game when Moeen comes back, he has to be at number 3. So let's just keep it settled and continue Gaikwad and Conway. That's what I think CSK would do too. They don't like to change a lot, so I think they would go with Gaikwad and Conway, Uthappa at 3 and Raidu at 4. And remember, Uthappa came at 4 last time when Raina couldn't play the last few matches, so they might switch up Raidu and Uthappa and play the same team. Looks a good squad to me, and I think CSK will win today.
How big of a blow? KKR won the toss.
Oh,
Not sure what they've quite done, but we'll keep you posted. Uh, I mean, of course, CSK went all out for Deepak Chahar, and he has picked up a massive hamstring injury. I mean, hamstring injuries are usually very serious,
yeah,
and it's the worst injury you can possibly get, because that is an injury where it always comes back to bite the players at the end of the day. I mean, even
yeah,
after they recover, they mostly go down again. They might not. I mean, hopefully it doesn't happen to him, because he is a massive Indian bowler as well. So we need him for India as well. And CSK went all out. Was it 14 crores? Around 14,
14 point
12,
14
14
crores.
crores.
Yeah,
They went for Deepak Chahar, massive. And then we know for sure he's not going to play the first month. So
yeah.
that's a massive blow there. Will he be able to come back after a fair few games? Will he be at his best again, the Deepak Chahar we know? Because under MS Dhoni, we always know CSK had one bowler who can swing and one quick bowler. Mm, In the past, you've got Dougie Bollinger, you had Ben Helfenes, Ashish Nehra at times, and then we had last season Deepak Chahar, last few seasons Chahar, Shardul Thakur, Ngidi. This time, there's no Deepak Chahar, who Dhoni was quite reliable on.
Yeah.
At times, he even bowled in 3 overs and a trot in the first six. So, how big of a blow is Deepak Chahar to CSK?
I mean, obviously a huge blow for CSK. Uh, not just the money involved in Deepak Chahar, but also about what he gives to the team. Last time he came up and picked wickets in packs. He got them in dozens. So like the first, he got like 4 or 3 wickets in the power play itself, which sealed the game for CSK. So yeah, pretty much is what Deepak Chahar does. And as you said, he bowls him 3 overs in a trot. But then I think that's why they've got Chris Jordan in. I mean, that's why he will be in the 11, because even if we can't pick wickets in the start, we might try to constrain in the end with bowlers like Bravo and Chris Jordan. So if that's possible, then I guess we are in a good direction. But for that, I guess Shivam Dubey also has to contribute with the ball, because in the first 6 overs, I would say Milne and Hangakeka bowling. But then after that, it has to be the two spinners and Shivam Dubey. So if Shivam Dubey is tight, then I think we have a good chance of reaching the opponent between 180 to 160 to 180. But then if he goes for runs, that's where we are in trouble.
Well, there's a few changes to what we predicted. In the CSK lineup, I can see Mitchell Santner and Tushar Deshpande.
Hmm.
Mitchell Santner, what do you think? I mean, I expect a lush green pitch, because there are only a few grounds, and the first game, I think it might be a little green. What do you think about Santner and playing?
I mean, I think they're going for like replacement for Moeen. That's the only basis I can see, because they want to they want to keep the combination same, even though the players aren't available. Let's just keep the same combination going ahead. But yeah, you're right. But then even if we had to replace someone, it had to be Chris Jordan, and someone who's very quick or someone who uses the grass on the pitch. He usually gives you the slower ones. So I think it's better. I mean, I think they have gone with I mean, Sandler, thinking that it's better for the combination going ahead in the series. But I personally would have picked Chris Jordan over Sandler.
KKR are playing both Sam Billings and Sheldon Jackson. It'll be interesting to see who keeps. I think it'll be Sheldon Jackson. Uh, Speaking about, I touched upon this point earlier. Last season, I mean, not just last season, KKR usually do have good wicket keepers. They've got Brandon McCullum. No, over the last 3, 4, 5 seasons, they've had DK behind the stumps. And especially if you have two mystery bowlers in Sunil Narayan and Varun Chakravarti,
Yeah.
you need a bloody good wicket keeper. But this time, KKR, I think they've missed out on that. A top class wicket keeper, Sheldon Jackson, is playing today, so I expect him to wicket keep. But again, is he an amazing wicket keeper? I'm not sure. We'll have to see. Sam Billings, on the other hand, he is not a conventional wicket keeper. And even Alex Hales, but he pulled out. So I think that might be a little bit of an issue for KKR.
But see, talking about DK, the relationship him and Varun had last 2 seasons was something which gave KKR the boost, bro. I mean, they spoke in Tamil throughout the game whenever he came on to
Inge
bowl.
pode, Ange pode,
Yeah,
everything. DK used to
the,
instruct him like mentor. He was a mentor, everything, and then
yeah.
Varun just used to follow that.
He'd be like Podu Macha, and he'll bowl exactly there. And that really helped Chakravarti. I'm not saying that he relied totally on DK, but he came to the World Cup after that, and he saw the same bowler he was in the same conditions a couple of weeks back. So yeah, it is questions. Maybe they could have retained DK or like got him back in the auction just to make Varun Chakravarti a better bowler than he actually is. But as you said, Sam Billings is not really a man who's like experienced spin a lot. He grew up in England, so it's mostly pace and swing. Let's see how he adapts to the conditions. And Sheldon Jackson is not really a full-time keeper either. So yeah, I think they kind of missed out there, and it'll be interesting to see how Chakravarti does without DK.
Right. A quick look into the lineups of the two sides. Well, KKR, Varun Chakra, Venkatesh Iyer, and Rahane openers. Rahane is opening. Shreyas Iyer, Nitish Rana, Sam Billings, Andre Russell, Sunil Narine, Sheldon Jackson, Umesh Yadav, Shivam Mavi, and Varun Chakravarti. So, what are the changes to our 11? I think,
I think
yeah, we put
Karunaratne,
Karunaratne.
yeah,
So are they going with three overseas? They've got Billings, Russell, Narayan. Yeah, they're
Narayan
going
and
with three overseas.
yeah, okay.
Okay,
But
cool.
doesn't this weaken their bowling a little bit because Karunaratne at least gives you the bowling, whereas okay, I don't know, maybe they're relying heavily on Andre Russell to bowl. So I think that's why they've gone with Sheldon Jackson, extra batsman. That's what it seems like.
I mean, if you
But what do
look
you make
at,
of what do you make of this team though?
look, uh, a lot of people are talking about the second season blues. Maybe Venkatesh Iyer goes through that. I'm not too sure, but I think he's done pretty well now, even for India. But
See, but the problem is he played for India at 6 or 7, and now it's coming
right,
open again. So it's difficult adapting, but then he has the class to do it. The question is, will he be able to do it in short span of time? That's the question. And as you said, second season blues. I'm not sure about that, but I think he should be able to deliver. But in the first few games, I think he won't go big. He won't get those 50s which he did in the last season consistently. In the first few games, at least, it'll take time for him to adapt. And in that aspect, with a player like Andre Russell who's not that consistent anymore as he used to be, the batting also is taking a hit. So I'm not really sure if this is the strongest team they can put forward. But yeah, with Cummins and Saudi at the helm, I think they'll get stronger when they come back.
right. I mean, look, Venkatesh Iyer, he's a class batsman. I think he'll do all right. But there are question marks over Rahane. I mean, he hasn't played a lot of white ball
Yeah,
cricket
that too.
recently. Even in the IPL, he hasn't done it for a while now. And then even in the red ball format, he's been dropped out of the Indian squad. He's been asked to go and play Ranji. So Rahane is a question mark. Shreyas Iyer, I think he is a bank of runs for KKR. Nitish Rana, again, he's I think he's a very underrated player. He always comes in, delivers. He gets you that 400, 450 runs almost every season. Chips in with a couple of crucial overs if necessary. Picks up some big wickets. Great fielder. Sam Billings, again, a question mark, hasn't set the IPL on fire or anything. Russell,
Yeah.
like you said, has been in a sort of a dip over the last few years in the IPL. He's got injuries with his hamstring. He's got issues with his hamstring as well. At times, he hasn't been 100% fit. But maybe the Wankhede pitches might get the best out of Russell. It's got seam and bounce, which Russell might fancy,
Yeah.
even with the ball, if he's 100% fit. Sunil Narayan, again, Sheldon Jackson, Umesh Yadav, Shivam Mavi, and then Varun Chakravarti. When I look at this team, like you said, I think they are missing a few players. Maybe a Tim Saudi in this conditions would have been a fantastic option.
Yeah.
When the pitch is a little bit of green, the ball will might swing at least in the first few games, in the first few overs. We all know it doesn't swing a lot in the IPL, but at least the first couple of overs, and he is a seasoned, experienced bowler. And then Pat Cummins will miss the first 4, 5 games. So I think the first, if KKR can manage the first few games, then I think they'll do all right and get
Well
to the
received. Yeah.
playoffs. But
Yeah.
again, when I look at the bowling, we spoke about Varun Chakravarti might miss Dinesh Karthik behind the stumps. And will it, I mean, later at the end, I mean, after halfway stage of the IPL, yes, the pitches will dry up and the ball might spin.
Yeah.
In the initial games, will Narayan and Chakravarti be that handy? Will they be able to pick wickets in the middle? I'm not too sure about that. Umesh Yadav and Shivam Mavi. Shivam Mavi, I think he's an up and coming, but last season it wasn't great for him, let's be honest. And then
Yeah,
Umesh
I
Yadav,
think this team has the talent, but they're not bankable yet. See, Sam Billings, you all know, is a big striker of the ball, but he's not bankable. Same with Rahane. I think he's very low on confidence right now. So I think that's also going to be an issue. Russell is the same case, and as you said, Varun and Narayan, same case because the initial stages of the IPL, the ball doesn't turn a lot. So all these problems, Sheldon Jackson, I don't really know how he's going to contribute to this
when
team
you look at
when you
when
have
you look at the
slip-ins.
11, I mean, when you look at the 11, apart from Iyer and probably Russell, none of
And
them are
Venkatesh
like
Iyer.
Venkatesh Iyer, and I mean, even not even Venkatesh Iyer. Other than Iyer and Russell, there aren't many players in this team who have like literally performed in the big stage in the IPL over the years. And you can
True.
extend talk about Sunil Narayan as well.
Yeah.
But Russell and Narayan haven't been the Russell and Narayan we know. Last season, yeah, Narayan did all right. But again, this season, is he the same Narayan? We don't know. I think KKR have got a slight bit of an issue, especially in this game. They're playing
The initial
CSK.
stages. Yeah.
They are playing one of the best teams in the IPL. I think this might be an issue because, look, when I look at this team, Iyer, yes, I think both the Iyers will do quite well. Rahane, I'm not too sure. Rana will be decent. Sam Billings, not sure. I don't know what kind of a Russell we're going to see. Sunil Narayan, same with him. I think he falls in the same category with Russell. Sheldon Jackson has a chance. He's been a great of the Ranjis and the domestic, but he's 35. Can he adapt to the IPL? Question marks. Umesh Yadav, I mean, I pretty well know Umesh Yadav. He's been at RCB for 3, 4 seasons. He is good at the power play, but death, no. Shivam Mavi, is he the man for you at the death? No. So who is your death bowler here? I think Russell will bowl the final overs,
Russell has
but
to be like Russell coming after 10
who
overs and maybe, you
who's
know,
after Russell? Who's going to bowl the death? The 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, the last 4, 5 overs.
yeah, but last time we saw a clever move by Morgan. He used Narayan and Varun at the end for 4 overs. So if that's possible and if they can do well, but let's remember that was in UAE. In UAE, the pitches are always dry and it turns quite a bit from the initial matches itself. But in Mumbai, it's not the same case. So Russell will do bulk of the death bowling, and the other one is still doubtful.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's an issue for KKR. I don't see this as an amazing 11. Look, they've got some good players here, don't get me wrong. But in current form, I think only both the Ayers are in good form. I don't
Yeah.
see anyone else who can deliver. But moving on, CSK's 11, Ruturaj, Gaikwad, Conway, Uttapa. The only difference from our predicted 11 was Mitchell Santner and Tushar Deshpande. What do you think? I mean, this looks like a pretty decent lineup. What do you think?
It looks a good lineup to me too, but then I would have preferred Hungercaker because he has the pace. I mean, the experience is not there. Deshpande has played a couple of games in the IPL, but there's not a big difference between him and Hungercaker. So I would have played him instead. And coming to Mitchell Santner, they're singing the same lineup, same combination. So I think that's why they're playing Santner instead of Chris Jordan, which is a reasonable move. So not disappointed with this lineup. A good side, and I think they'll win the match today.
Yeah, I think this is the best, probably the best. I mean, for me, the only surprise was Mitchell Santner, but I
Yeah.
think other than that, it was pretty expected this 11. Uh, this looks like a good team. I mean, yeah, Deepak Chahar is a miss, of course. Who's going to take the new ball? Is it going to be Deshpande and Milne?
It has to be Deshpande and Milne, and or they might interestingly go with Shivam Dube.
I
We
wouldn't be
never know.
surprised.
Yeah, so I think because Shivam Dube has the pace which might trick the batsman, so I think he can do it if guided correctly. But I think at least for the first games, they might go with Deshpande and Milne to start off, and then if and when Deepak Chahar comes back, it will be Milne and Deepak Chahar doing the Yuva business, and Bravo and Shivam Dubey uh, doing the death bowling. So it's going to be tough, but yeah, same problems for CSK also like KKR. Death bowling is an issue.
I think it's pretty fine. I mean, I think it'll be Milne. Milne probably bowl the first. I mean, out of his 4 overs quota, he'll bowl two in the power play and
Two,
then two
yeah,
at the death. And then you'll have Bravo at least too. He is reliable. He's done it over the years. It'll be interesting to see how Jadeja sees himself as a bowler under MS at times over the last 1 or 2 years. At times he
see, I
doesn't
think
even come bowl.
I think when he's a bowler, I think he's going to feel normal because MS behind the stumps is going to guide him. But the thing is, he's on the field. Is he going to be the same Jadeja the fielder we know? That's the question mark because it's going to be thoughts are going to be on the field setting and what's the bowler going to do, what's the batsman going to do. Is he going to be able to concentrate on the ball while he's on the field is a big question. If he does, then well and good. I hope he does too.
And yeah, you've got six bowling options. So Shivam Dube might have to come and chip in. I don't think he'll get the new ball, at least not in the
Yeah,
initial stages. Even he needs to be put in to show more faith, get him in that room that, yeah, you will be playing for
you are
us.
going to. Yeah,
Right. So I think Minne will open. I like the side, to be honest. You've got a good openers in Gaikwad and Conway. Conway again, he has done well in all three formats, but the IPL for me the IPL is like a fourth format. You might do well in three
yeah.
formats, but
It is.
there are a lot of players in the past who have done well in three formats, but in the IPL they haven't lived up to the expectations. Like Aaron Finch, he
Yeah.
looks like a different player for Australia, but in IPL he is one of the biggest flops and
Clueless here.
frauds,
Yeah.
if not the only one. So, and then at three, Uttapa, Raidu, Jadeja, then you've got Shivam Dube, MS. You've got a good batting. It goes pretty deep, like all CSK sides do. And quickly, before we end the show, the big question: MS Dhoni's future. Is this his last IPL?
I mean, the man himself said that he's going to play his last game at Chennai, and I hope that it's the same. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is not his last season, and I wouldn't be surprised if this is his last season. So I don't know what to expect from Dhoni. It's the same case as always. This is a random announcement will come up, and he'll say I'm done. So I think, but this time he deserves a farewell match. As a captain, he didn't have one. As an Indian player, he didn't have one. As a CSK captain, he didn't have one. So he needs one for CSK at least. And that's what the fans want. That's what he wants to. So, in my opinion, yeah, he's always going to be there with the Yellow Army, with the CSK, irrespective of if he's playing or not. As a mentor, as a head coach, he'll be there. As Stephen Fleming is for this first moment of time. So he will be there, but it'll be hard to say not to play. But to be honest, he's 40, and
Right.
to play any more would put his reputation at stake. So I think it's good for CSK and for Dhoni that maybe in the next one or this one maybe he hangs up his boots and gives the pass the baton on.
I think so too, because I don't think MS would want to become a liability at the end of the day. Because
True.
even last season, we saw him, he didn't perform with the bat when he had the opportunities, and he hardly came out to bat. He let
Yeah.
everyone else go and bat. So, and he played as MS Dhoni, the captain, and he did quite well. I think he will continue to do that this season. He's not officially the captain, but I think he will um, guide Jadeja in most of the situations. So I I'm not too sure. It depends on how MS Dhoni, the batsman, does this season. If he can deliver, then I can still see him playing one more season and
Yeah. I
finishing
think
it off with
that's his
Chennai.
plan too, I guess. Yeah.
But if not, if he is struggling with the bat, which I mean, everyone expects that, because let's be honest, he hasn't played cricket. He only plays IPL now, and
Yeah.
like we said, IPL is a different ball game now. So I wouldn't be surprised. Season predictions. Who do you think will be the top three players for the highest runs in the orange cap category?
I think Gaikwad will have another dream year as well. I think he's gonna do well this year too. And this year, I think I think uh, I think this will be one of Kohli's best years in IPL because he seems a lot more. See, we see him play for India. He plays the shots. Timing is there. So it's not a question of form. It's just that when it's going to happen. So I think it's going to happen this IPL. I see him doing it. And the third one, it's a hard question. There's like so many teams. 10 teams are there. Like so many players. But I think KL Rahul is just a run machine. So I think he'll turn up this year. But I would be surprised if Warner replaces him as well because he has the talent in him. Obviously, at this time with in DC a much more settled unit, I think he can go all out and be there in the top three. Your predictions?
I would go with. I'm going with first KL Rahul. He always delivers, man.
Yeah, he's
Like
a
even for
machine in
India.
IPL. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean I've got question marks over KL Rahul, the captain, but
true.
I had question marks over him as the Kings 11 Punjab or the Punjab Kings captain. Way too many
True.
changes, but we'll talk about that later. But KL Rahul, the batsman, in T20 format, one of the best batsmen in the world right now. So for me, KL Rahul, uh, I'll put in Shreyas Iyer as well. I
Hmm.
think this season he'll have a massive season.
He has to
My
for
only
KKR.
concern, my only concern is that he might be the only player for KKR who is
Yeah,
delivering
yeah.
as a batsman. So that might be an issue. So for me, KL Rahul, Venkatesh Iyer, and the third, I'm pretty confused with the third one. I think it probably might be David Warner or Surya Kumar Yadav is what I'm going with. And one more, just a name to be thrown out is I think might be Faf Duplessis. I mean, you
Yeah, but
guys
I was going to go with him, but then he's captain now too. So uh,
different, right?
I hope he
I
does
mean,
perform well though. I like him a lot.
right. So I think it'll be one of Warner, Faf, or Surya Kumar. Uh, Highest wicket takers.
This time, I think Bumrah will come back. He'll be in top three for sure this time. So I think it's generic, but I think Bumrah will be there this time. And the second one, let's see. Give yours first, bro.
Even I'm thinking, who
It's
do we
hard. It's
have?
so hard.
Yeah, because I didn't think it's going to be Harshal Patel. No,
Yeah,
I mean, with all due respect,
I don't
yes,
think so
he
either.
had a fantastic, unbelievable
Oh,
season,
I
but
know it's Hasaranga, bro. I'm telling you, 1.75 crores.
I think it'll be Bumrah, but I think it has to be Bumrah for MI because I don't think the bowling looks that good this season like it did last season. Last season they had Bolt, they had Bumrah, but this season Archer isn't there this season. I think it'll be Bumrah. Who else do we have? I'm
I
trying
think
to
Amir
think
Khan
of
will also be among the mix because it's in Mumbai and his in space might help him. Not really sure, but I'm putting his name there for sure.
right. I can't even think of bowlers, man. I don't think it'll be Bolt.
Nah. Okay, wait.
Cummins, I don't think it'll be Cummins because he comes pretty late, doesn't play all the
Yeah.
games. I don't think it'll be a spinner either. It has to be quicks.
It has to be a quick and who can swing the ball as well. So not
I
really.
would have
I'm
thrown
putting.
Deepak Chahar if he was
Yeah, yeah.
available, but it's very hard
But
to think of purple
okay,
caps.
so my top three, I'll put Bumrah, Shardul Thakur, Avesh Khan. They're going to be all three Indians
All
this
right.
time.
Uh, who do you think will be an X factor? I mean, an X factor player, possibly, probably an all rounder. I think it'll
If
be Jadeja or Hardik, one of them.
I mean, it has to be Jadeja because he's doing all four departments of the game for CSK. So if he does well, I think it's a big X factor for CSK. But otherwise, apart from that, I think this time I think it's going to be Prithvi Shaw because he's going to be with less pressure with Warner at the helm. I think. I mean, that one was there last time around too, but then Warner is someone who can put his presence there, be felt by the opponent, unlike Shikhar Dhawan. So Shaw doesn't have to impose himself to go and strike the ball every single time, and that's where
And
he's
Warner
at his
has a point
best.
to prove.
Yeah. So with all about the mix, I think it'll be Prithvi Shaw.
Right.
For you?
I'm going with Jadeja. He's
I mean,
too good a player, man. Like I
I would have
love
said it.
Jadeja.
I would have told Jadeja, but it's too generic, so I just went with Prithvi Shaw.
All right. Predictions for this game. KKR won the toss. They chose to ball. You have to bat first. What do you think is a good score? And how much do you think CSK need to score to defend this total?
A fresh 1 KD pitch, and with the threat of Venkatesh Iyer, Shreyas Iyer, and Russell, I think a 180 to 190 score would be safe. I wouldn't say a winning score, but it would be safe. Puts the opponent under pressure, and we have to bowl well in the power play also. So I think if these these two boxes are checked, I think CSK would win this game.
I'm going with the CSK win as well. Look, when again, I'm going back to KKR's bowling. When I look at their bowling versus CSK's
Exactly.
batting,
Yeah. Yeah.
I think CSK will post around 185, 190. And I don't see KKR having many batsmen who can go and chase down a 190. So
Yeah.
I think it'll be CSK to win this game. Who is your predicted man of the match? Last question.
Man of the match, I'm going to go out of the blue and call Adam Milne into the mix. I think it's going to be a crucial play for CSK this time, especially with the tournament happening in Mumbai, where the seam bowlers get help from the pitch. So I think, and people haven't really played him a lot. Adam Milne is someone who's been heard of, but never really played by the Indian batsmen in particular. So if he can, pull out his quick guns and give us some good starts like Deepak Chahar did last time, I think this time we'll be much formidable team than we look
My
on
man
paper.
of the match, for me, it's Shivam Dubes. No,
Uh,
I'm kidding. For me, it's
sarcastic.
I'm going for Ambati Raidu. I think he's gonna do pretty well here. So
Mm.
for me, Raidu and CSK to win the game. Well, all right. First day, I'm super excited. IPL is
Yeah.
back. It's finally back. New teams and all that. The only thing for me is Lucknow's jersey is awful. It's
See, bro, Lucknow have an awful jersey but a good team. Gujarat have a good jersey but an awful team. So
awful
I don't know
team.
what's going to work out for the new
But
franchise.
I mean, come on, bro. Lucknow couldn't have gotten a worse
Bro,
jersey
I
than
thought it was
what
their
they have.
practice jersey, the ones you wear for your practicing, but turns out it's the actual jersey. I'm like,
Like
what's this?
what is that color, bro? Like
Yeah,
I can't.
yeah.
You can't describe that jersey. It looks
and
so
it's like
faded.
and it's like 1.3K
It's
on the
got a
source too. If
it's
someone
got a
buys it,
crap
I mean,
sponsor. Yeah, it's got crap sponsors. It's got crap. It's the
doesn't
worst
suit
jersey
well.
I've seen in sport, not just cricket. It's the worst jersey
Their
I've
logo
ever
as
seen
well
in sport.
doesn't really
Yeah,
suit
it
well.
looks so.
Yeah, they could
I
have
mean,
stuck to the
hopefully,
old Super Giant jersey and the logo. I think it was good looking and was attractive. So you were stuck to that, but no, they changed it to
I
for a
mean,
new city.
hopefully they don't deliver like their uh, jersey. I mean, then that would be awful. But just look at the jersey is horrendous, and hopefully KL Rahul can bear with that. And for one season, and next season they probably should
Hopefully they
sack the
changed it. Yeah,
they should
yeah.
probably sack some whoever made the jersey and come out with
Designer.
something better. Right.
Yeah.
Anyways, thanks guys for watching. Drop a like on the video, subscribe, share, do all that good stuff. We'll be live. We'll have a lot of previews coming before the matches, and I'll be here tomorrow with the RCB review as well. We've got a double header tomorrow, which will be quite interesting to see. So we'll be quite busy with the IPL now. So
Yeah.
drop a like, hit that bell icon so that you guys know when we come live. You can join us, and you'll get to know when our videos are out. So comment your thoughts on this game, and comment your thoughts on the biggest question: Jadeja, the new CSK face. Anyways, thanks Santosh for joining us. It's match time now, and we're both going with the CSK win. So we'll meet you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Bye bye.